little friends! Welcome to Bright Buddies!
In a small peaceful village, there lived a young girl named Sara. Every morning, she would walk to school quietly while watching other children laugh, talk, and play together. Unlike them, Sara was always silent. She rarely joined conversations and often stayed alone, which slowly made her feel like she didn't belong anywhere. As days passed, she began to believe something painful in her heart, that maybe she was not as good as others. At school, Sara would sit alone in her classroom while her classmates formed groups and shared stories. During break time, she would stand near a wall or sit quietly on a bench, watching others enjoy their time together. A heavy feeling grew inside her, making her wonder why she was always left out. She started comparing herself with others and felt she was missing something important. That comparison slowly turned into insecurity. At home, Sara often looked at herself in the mirror. She would quietly stare at her reflection and think, maybe I am not pretty enough, maybe I am not smart enough, maybe something is wrong with me. These thoughts made her feel smaller every day. Even though her family cared for her, she could not understand why she always felt so different inside. One rainy evening, Sara walked home slowly from school. The soft rain fell around her, and everything felt quiet and heavy. When she reached home, she sat alone in her room without speaking to anyone. That night, she could not sleep peacefully. She kept thinking about school, about other children, and about herself. Deep inside, she believed she would never be like them. The next morning, something small happened. A little bird came and sat outside her window, singing happily without any worry. Sara watched it silently. For the first time in many days, she felt a small sense of peace. She realized that the bird was happy just being itself, without trying to become someone else. At school that day, the teacher announced an art activity where every student had to draw something that represented themselves. The classroom became excited, but Sara felt nervous again. She looked at the blank paper in front of her, and thought she wouldn't be good at it. Still, slowly, she picked up her pencil and made the first line. Then another. Little by little, she began drawing shapes, flowers, and patterns. As she continued, she started feeling calmer, as if her emotions were flowing onto the paper. When other students noticed her drawing, they became curious. Her artwork was different, but it had a beautiful and unique feeling in it. The teacher walked over and gently praised her work, saying it was very creative and full of emotion. For the first time, Sara felt something she had never felt before, confidence. A small light of belief started growing inside her heart. A few days later, the school announced a competition where students would showcase their best artwork. Everyone became excited, but Sara once again felt afraid. She thought she was not as talented as others and almost decided not to participate. But after a long moment of silence, she made a brave decision. She told herself that she would try, even if she was scared. At home, she practiced drawing again and again. She stopped trying to be perfect and instead focused on expressing her feelings. Slowly, she began to enjoy the process instead of fearing it. On the day of the competition, the hall was full of students and colors everywhere. Sara took a deep breath and began her painting. This time, she was calm. She was not thinking about others anymore. She was simply expressing herself. When she finished, her artwork stood quietly among the others. It was simple but deeply meaningful and full of emotion. As the judges and students looked at it, they appreciated its uniqueness. Applause filled the hall. Sara looked surprised at first, but then a gentle smile appeared on her face. For the first time, she realized something very important. She understood that she did not need to become like others to be valuable. She did not need to compare herself or feel less. Her uniqueness was her strength. That day, Sara walked home under a beautiful sunset sky, feeling lighter than ever before. The birds were flying, the wind was soft, and for the first time, she felt peaceful inside. And from that day onward, Sara learned a powerful truth: you don't have to change yourself to be accepted. You are already enough, just the way you are.
Subscribe to Bright Buddies. Thank you for watching.